Oil prices back on the rise today amid speculation that rebuilding in Japan and unrest in North Africa, such as Libya, all going to increase the price, hamper the supply, the demand. You can see it, crude rising to $104 a barrel in New York trading. And of course, this helping to motivate oil producers in the United States to look for new domestic oil supplies. Well, my next guest company has just received a permit. It's got the green light to drill for some oil and gas in the Gulf of Mexico. Albert Reese is the Chief Financial Officer of ATP Oil and Gas. Good to have you with us, Al Reese.
Pimm,
we've been following this story. I know you sent me the email telling me that as soon as you were going to get the permit, you were going to come on. Tell me what the status is. You got the permit on Friday from the Department of Energy?
Yes, we did.
And what's it letting you do, and what's the future?
The key thing is it lets us to go ahead and start the next well at Telemark. We've already got Telemark.
Yeah, it's about 100 miles off the coast.
100 miles off the coast. It's where the ATP Titan is located. That's the $700 to $1 billion infrastructure piece that we have out there, put in place in 2010. 2 wells on production now. We're already producing 12-ish thousand barrels a day from that location. This will allow us, with this well and the next well, take it up to about 25,000 barrels per day.
That's more than double.
Yeah, more than double just from this platform. We are very close to being in the hole right now, to where, in all probability, we will be one of the first, if not the first, companies that actually starts redrilling in the deep water since the Deepwater Horizon.
Tell for people that don't know about it. I mean, this Titan project
it's huge.
It's not like just building, getting a platform and sinking a well. There's much more to it, and it really is. It's changing the way in which companies are going to be operating these kinds of fields.
It really does, because this particular facility, built entirely in America, was taken out in 2010, about a 2.5-year construction project. This is 70 stories tall, 700 feet from the base to the top. Roughly about 450 feet is below water. The balance is above water. The deck area, bigger than 2 football fields. I mean, you're talking about something that the unit itself cost about $700 million. The pipeline, the moorings, the infrastructure, the other things, takes it up to roughly a $1 billion project. The key is capacity there, 25,000 barrels per day. That's really what we're looking for.
And once you get the oil out of the ground, it's then getting it on shore.
That's right. And we've got pipelines to already do that. That's the main thing the permit did. It finally removed the uncertainty associated with this year and next year for ATP. And we're beginning to see that come away with other companies too. Noble was the first to get its permit. BHP got a permit. We were the third one. Literally, as I'm walking onto the set here 5 or 10 minutes ago, I see that ExxonMobil has now gotten a permit in the Gulf of Mexico, 6,000 something feet of water. I know nothing more than what I just told you, but they've got, that's the 4th one that's out there now.
Now, the difference in the price of oil now compared to when we started the moratorium on deep water drilling, you think that had anything to do with it? We're at 104.
Don't get me on the political route. I spend enough time in Washington right now.
You're just going to celebrate that you got the permit.
I'm celebrating the fact. But yeah, when the moratorium went into effect, oil was $73 to $75 a barrel. Gasoline was $2 and change. Now oil is $104 current. I looked at the price just before I came on. It's $105 balance of this year and next year. It's up, what's that, 30%? Gasoline, you can see some $4 numbers on gasoline around the country. Is the moratorium the only thing that caused that? Of course not. Is it attributable to it? Absolutely. Production's down in the Gulf of Mexico, jobs, things of that nature. I think there ultimately was some pressure put on. But the main thing, and believe it or not, I will give BOM credit on this, the one thing they wanted to do was to make sure that safety was adhered to. And now that they have the Helix system, they have the other system with Exxon and the majors, they have a containment system and a collection system to effectively assure that if is the operative word, if there's ever a blowout of that nature, you have the ability to contain it. You'll never have something of that nature again in their mind, or you wouldn't have the permits issued the way they've been doing it.
Got to put it to you, though, are the safety regulations that have been put into place, has that added to the cost?
Of course. Of course it will add. The main thing it's going to do, it's going to add to the time, because now you have to test blowout preventers more often than you used to have to test. So a well that might normally take 100 days to drill might be 105 days to drill now. I honestly think that's where you're going to see the most impact on cost. Gut tells me that the infrastructure of the service companies and the drilling rigs will probably be in front of the BOEM on issuing permits. You could see excess capacity in the Gulf with some of that equipment. You may even see costs come down.
Excess capacity in the Gulf.
You may see costs come down in the short run. With rigs being available, helicopters, drilling equipment, things of that nature being available, but permits not having caught up. Nothing more than supply and demand. I think by the end of this year, early part of 12, you'll be back to more of a balance of supply and demand.
All right. Now, I know you don't have your crystal ball with you. I know you left that in Washington.
I left it over there, yes.
Okay. Tell me, if you can, though, oil as the actual price of oil. If we have any kind of change or disruption in the supply coming out of the Middle East, I mean, are all bets off, or is there any wiggle room here?
I think it depends on where does it occur. If you have disruption from Libya, you have it from Yemen.
That's like 1.6, 1.9 million barrels of oil coming out of Libya a day.
You'll have a bump. There's no two ways about it. Japan, unfortunately, has taken about that amount off the market, so you've kind of stayed in balance. That's the reason you haven't seen a big uptick or downtick in oil since the Japan crisis. Take Saudi Arabia out of the equation, all bets are off at that point, because Saudi Arabia is still the governor for the world when it comes to oil production.
They control the spigot.
They control the spigot. It's the reason we need to get back to work, not only with this permit, but the next one.
I want to thank you very much, as always. Al Reese, Chief Financial Officer, ATP Oil and Gas. Congratulations on the permit.